Trap House Mob.
Roll another one.
Sit up, never like you know it's special packet with the automatics. We gon' send them to heaven. Wait. Hey. Woo! She like the way that I dance. She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I move. She let it clap for a nigga. And she throw it back for a nigga. Yeah, she throw it back for a nigga. Like a mirror, like a mirror.
What a do, Sensei crew? It's Anime Sensei here, and I'm gonna be doing What If Naruto and Meliodas Switch Universe's finale. So, let's get straight into it. But before we start, road to 200 subs. I hope we can make it there. Well, I know we can. We Sensei crew. Any haters, stay mad. But anyway. This is the finale. Like, the last part should have been in this a while ago. But I've been starting so many new winners, which I highly recommend y'all check out. And, yeah. So, let's get straight into this. This takes place about a good 2 months or so. I'm gonna say a month. As, at this point, both Naruto and Meliodas have Team Naruto and Team Meliodas have 2 out of 3 stones each. As for both of them, there's only 1 stone for them to reach, and they can finally go back home. As we start off with Naruto in the 7 Deadly Sins verse, as him and the rest of the crew were sitting down at a table at the boar hat, eating and talking among each other, as suddenly Naruto questioned Bond, saying, "So, let me get this straight. You're immortal, and you can't die." As Bond shakes his head, nodding, saying, "Yep, pretty much, that's it." As everyone else at the table had actually taken the time to tell Naruto stuff about themselves and somewhat of their past. As suddenly, a map appears out of nowhere. As everyone looks at this map, they can see that it has something to do with a temple. As Naruto picks it up, he hands it to Merlin as she reads it out loud, saying, "Dear Naruto Uzumaki and Sins crew, this letter was made for you to find the final the final stone. The final stone. As I will not say who I am, but that doesn't matter currently. As yes, Meliodas is also trying to find it in the universe he's in currently, so I also sent this to him as well. From Anonymous." As Merlin crumbles up the letter, putting it in her pocket, saying, "Alright, then we have a new mission." As her magic was actually starting to get better, as it wasn't fully shut down, but it wasn't to the point where she could teleport Naruto back. As Naruto says, "Let's go, crew." As they all go to the temple. After running into a few threats and a few things, suddenly they all see it, the song, right there in front of them. I thought first Naruto was just gonna go charge and pick it up real quick, but suddenly Merlin stopped him as she said, "You know that could be a trap, right? Trust me, it's not that far-fetched for someone to try that." As Naruto suddenly thinks to himself, "Shoot, right? Usually people do stuff like this." As Merlin makes a clone for herself and decides for the clone to go and try to get the stone. As the clone had tried to pick up the stone, suddenly its head was chopped off as it disappeared from thin sight, as pretty much everyone was shocked. But suddenly Zeldris stepped in front, as he was actually still here. I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but yeah, Zeldris is still here. As he says, I'll do this. As he activates his mark, getting ready to go as fast as he could. As he managed to blitz and, well, get the stone while picking it up, suddenly, all the sins in Naruto suddenly disappear. As they reappear somewhere, they can see they're in space now. As they look around, they see many portals, as this seems to be the center of the universe where people travel. As they're actually in some type of place. As we fast forward to Naruto, not Naruto, Meliodas in the Naruto verse. As since it's been about a month, Meliodas had actually gotten to know the team, as Sakura still has her plan, and if you don't know what the plan is, go check out the last part. Trust me, you're gonna get that to know. So I'm not gonna explain that again. Anyway, wait, hold up. Can I hear me? Anyway, as Meliodas, Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke were all on their way somewhere, as they had actually gotten wind of this temple as well, and had decided they would check it out, as they found maybe this would be a good way for Meliodas to get back home. As Kakashi had actually read the letter and still had it in his pocket, they had collected the stone as they appeared. And where are they? Suddenly, that's what they say. As suddenly they recognize each other, as Meliodas had recognized the Sins and Team 7 had recognized Naruto. As they had run up to each other, as Naruto and Meliodas, who actually laid eyes on each other, while actually deciding to shake hands, since this was the first time they had met, with Naruto saying, "Thanks for keeping my team safe." With Meliodas also shaking his hand saying, "Same to you." As suddenly a figure emerges from the shadows, with Sakura seemingly acting different. As this figure seems to be the supreme deity in Kaguya. As Sakura, who actually suddenly started acting weird. As Kaguya had blitzed towards Sakura and had fully corrupted herself, basically manifesting inside of Sakura, as the Kaguya they had saw was a ghostly type of Kaguya. As Naruto had looked up in disbelief, saying, Sakura? Useless? Trash? What's going on? And why are you betraying us? Naruto says enraged at the person he had helped out many times in his life and never returned the favor is betraying him. As Meliodas looks up, same with Elizabeth, as they had recognized the supreme deity. As they had flashbacks, a little bit of a little bit of PTSD, mostly Elizabeth more than Meliodas. As suddenly Elizabeth steps forward, saying, "Why, Mother? Why? Why are you here? I thought you were dead." As the supreme deity looks down upon Elizabeth, saying, "Oh no, dear. I'm alive, great and well. I'm just about to destroy you, the universe, and a lot more." The supreme deity says in a terrifying voice. As Kaguya, who had manifested in Sakura, now spoke up, saying, "Hello, mortals. I'm not sure if you know, but I am the mother of the Sage of Six Paths, aka Hamarogo Ototsuki. I'm here along with my friend, the Supreme Deity." As suddenly, both Kaguya and the Supreme Deity smashed their hands together. As suddenly, they say, "Reattract!" As suddenly, the rings that each team had actually had suddenly went towards them. with Kaguya having the rings from the Seven Deadly Sins verse, and the Supreme Deity having the rings from the Naruto verse. As suddenly they had unlocked a new form, a final form of sorts. As it seems more like a fusion, as there was only one person left, with both of them speaking, "You will die." As Meliodas and Naruto both charge towards the new figure, as we're just gonna call it Kaguya for, well, plot, since I don't feel like, well, we're gonna call it Supreme Kaguya, but I might just call it Supreme for short. As both Naruto and Meliodas had tried to blitz Supreme, as suddenly Naruto jumped back, shouting Rasen Shuriken while throwing it towards him, with Meliodas saying, "Revenge counter!" Setting off a revenge counter to help Naruto. As actually, instead of hitting Kaguya, they had actually clashed with each other. Their attacks clashed with each other. As suddenly they had both tried to go throwing a punch at both Kaguya and the Supreme Deity. As suddenly they both got smacked out of the way, as they both were on the floor, seemingly dead. As suddenly both of them appeared in their mindscapes, with Meliodas in his mindscape having, well, his father surprisingly, and Naruto, the Sage of Six Paths. As Naruto, you know what? Nah, screw it. I know what I'm about to do. Escanor appears in his mindscape. Yup. As Meliodas looks up, saying, "Escanor? I thought you were dead. How are you here?" As Escanor says, "Meliodas, no time to explain. But actually, no, we do have time. I'm not really alive. I'm just able to manifest in your mindscape, as this is the last time you will ever see me. Tell Merlin I love her, but I have a power for you." As Escanor says, "Open your hand." With Meliodas doing so, suddenly Escanor says, "I'm going to entrust you with this power, Meliodas. Can I trust you?" As Meliodas responds saying, "Of course." As suddenly Escanor puts his hand in Meliodas' hand while transferring the power towards him. As suddenly Meliodas had started to wake up, as we fast forward to Naruto around the same time. As Naruto had looked up saying, the Sage of Six Paths? I thought you were a myth." But then again, from all this god mischief, I'm not that surprised you're alive, Naruto says, in a not too surprised tone. As the Sage of Six Paths says, "Fair enough, but you, Naruto Uzumaki, are the reincarnation of my son, Ashura. You were originally intended by destiny to stop it, along with the reincarnation of Indira. But right now, I'll give him his power shortly. But now it's time to focus on you right now." As he says, "Get ready. You're about to receive all of Ashura's powers." As suddenly Hamaroka had grabbed Naruto's hand and had put his staff on it, around his palm. As suddenly the power had transferred, as Naruto had woken back up. Same with Meliodas. As suddenly they both disappeared while appearing in front of both Kaguya and, screw it, the fusion never happened. Both Kaguya and the Supreme Deity, both looking up at them saying, "You're gonna die." With their newfound power, as Meliodas looks, he's in this form, and think of it like that, but mixed up with sunshine. Yeah, something like that. Combination of that and sunshine. And Naruto, well, yeah, he's just gonna be in KCM. As suddenly Naruto goes charging towards Kaguya, throwing 7 jabs while creating three shadow clones, throwing both at Kaguya as a distraction. And suddenly, Naruto shouted, Ultra Mega Rasen Shuriken! As he had thrown this at Kaguya. As Kaguya was barely able to dodge, as she thought to herself, how? I thought with this power, man, this body is useless. I can't even use even at my full power. I thought this would enhance my abilities. As Kaguya had no more time to think, as Naruto suddenly appeared in front of her, punching her straight in the face, sending her flying back. As Naruto had appeared in front of her, grabbing her by the neck, while throwing her into the air, saying, this ends here. Ultra, Ashura, Rasen, Shuriken. As Naruto throws this into the air, as seemingly Kaguya had seemed to die, as her body had dropped dead to the ground. As we fast forward to what Meliodas was doing currently, as Meliodas had charged towards the supreme deity, slashing her with his sword, as he had put 7 cuts on her face. As suddenly Meliodas appeared behind her, saying, Revenge counter! Sending her flying back, as Meliodas suddenly picks her up by the neck, saying, you're gonna die. This is for killing everyone. You and my father. It's all your faults. As suddenly, Meliodas says to end this now. We end this here. Revenge? Sunshine? Counter! As this had pretty much dang near killed the Supreme Deity, as she was pretty much dead to the ground. As a last attempt to win, suddenly she used what she had left from the stones, snapping her fingers, saying, I am inevitable. As she had snapped. As suddenly the universe had destroyed itself, as the only 2 people left were both Naruto and Meliodas, as their newfound powers had allowed them to survive. As they both look around, seeing just being in a void, suddenly an angel of sorts appears, an angel / God, saying, you know what? I will give you both one more chance at life to fix this. As both Naruto and Meliodas say, we'll do it. We'll fix this now. As suddenly the angel says, alright, it's your time to shine. As he had sent them both back about 5 minutes before the Supreme Deity had snapped. As suddenly, before she could do it, Meliodas had slashed her head off, with Naruto putting a Rasen Shuriken right after. As that was the it of it, as suddenly a portal appeared, one to the left and one to the right, as one seemed to be to the 7 Deadly Sins verse, while the other seemed to be to, well, the Naruto verse. As after the snap, everyone was pretty much transferred back after the angel had given them a second chance. So it's just Naruto and Meliodas right now. As they both shake hands for the final time, saying, you know, I respect you. I never got to know you as much as my team did, but I definitely respect you. Meliodas says, with Naruto saying, well, hey, how about a proper introduction? I'm Naruto Uzumaki. The orange flash, with Meliodas saying, I'm Meliodas, the son of the Demon King. As they shake hands for the final time while charging to their portals, as we fast forward to Meliodas and his universe, as he thinks to himself, that was quite an adventure. With Naruto in his universe saying, I wouldn't mind doing that again. As that's where I'm going to be leaving this off. I hope you guys enjoyed. Road to 200, Anime Sensei out.